Hi everyone, this is Dawn Winters and you are watching my Writing for Doctoral Series video workshop. I am in this video going to walk you through some of the tips and tricks that you can use in EBSCOHost. So I have got another video on Google Scholar, and these are the two databases that I access the most, and in general they're great sources for a wide variety of databases searched. So I'm at the WKU website. It's important to access anything that you want for free through the WKU Library's website. So if you are just searching on regular Google and you come across an article that's even from a legitimate peer-reviewed source, you may have to pay for it. And chances are we have access to it through the University Library's webpage. So it's important to get online and go through the WKU library site to access anything that you want that you probably don't want to pay for. So to get to EBSCOHost, you click on Database. They've got, and this is again to show you, these are just the A's that we have access to through the library webpage, and these are all databases. So we have access to nearly 300 databases through the library's web pages. So EBSCOHost and Google Scholar are merely two of them. They are two primary kind of run-of-the-mill nice ones that for you to access. So clicking on EBSCOHost. So what EBSCOHost first does, it's a database of databases. So it's automatically going to click Academic Search Complete, which searches more than 12,500 journals and 3,200 publications. There are also other ones that you can click. So scrolling down the list here, they've got an education full text. They've got an educational administration abstracts. They've got ERIC, so you can search the ERIC. If you've been in education, you know what ERIC is. So you can click on any number of these for it to also search. Again, if you keep that first one initially searched, that's going to give you a wide range. You could also unclick it and only click those specific databases. For now, we're going to just keep the Academic Search Complete search on. So Google Scholar, if you watch that video, is a little bit more user-friendly in terms of there's the one search box, you have the option to do an advanced search, but it really doesn't show you that until you need it. EBSCOHost, although it is a little bit more detailed on this initial page, is not harder to use. So, and in fact, it can offer you a way to narrow down your research in a way that it prompts you to narrow down your research that Google Scholar doesn't. So if I search retention, it's going to give me a lot of suggestions here because it knows that retention is a nice wide range, but I am stubborn. I'm going to keep my retention search. Well, I am rewarded with 154,000 articles. That starts with retention of doctors and nurses at rural healthcare facilities in Bangladesh. Chances are this is not what you need if you're studying retention through the doc program. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to say first generation college students, and that gives me 71 articles, so that's nice. Over here, and if you go back to this first page, you can limit your results to full text only. If you're like me and you are doing your research at home, it really can make or break how fast your research goes if you can scroll through the article itself. So these are limited to full text. Over here, just like on Google Scholar, it's to the left of the page that you can play with your publication dates. If you want a historical article, you can scroll back and kind of reduce your article length as far as the date range is concerned. You can limit it to academic journals, regular journals, magazines. That's really important. If you're doing research for your dissertation, that you limit it to academic journals. So now we're down to 17 articles. And you can also narrow it by even more. So if you have a specific publication in mind, if you're doing research in a different language, you can narrow it by language. So just different ways to narrow it down. Now, just like in Google Scholar, which I didn't mention it in that video, but you can kind of get a good look at the abstract just in the page, which is important to read those and to kind of scroll through those if you need to narrow your research even more and you don't want to read the full article or even to skim through the full article. Now, what I like to do is I like to find ones that have PDFs. Not that the HTML versions are bad, but PDFs give you a great look at the page numbers. So here we have two that are one's in PDF, one's in HTML, and this one also has a PDF option. So if I pull up the PDF, it does it right in Google Scholar or right in EBSCOHost, and I can kind of scroll through it here. And it gives me the appropriate page number, which is something that an HTML source can't do. And I've lost the HTML one. Oh, here we go. Now, it's faster to pull up the HTML. The one thing that I wanted to show you, which is why I pulled up the HTML one, a lot of those that are in HTML offer an audio version. So some of us do a better job reading through the article. Some of us want to, maybe you are cooking dinner or you're doing something that you're trying to do two things at once, which is something I do a lot in my life. But maybe you want to listen to the article instead of read the article. So the HTML version offers that. A lot of times though, it doesn't offer the page numbers. So if you do find an article that is really good, you think you're going to use it, you may even directly cite it instead of just, well, paraphrasing is directly citing it, but you may not quote it. So you don't need the page numbers, but if you're going to end up quoting something from this article, you're going to need the page numbers. So it's good that this one comes in a PDF full text as well. PDF, you're not going to have that audio option for the most part, but again, you will be able to have access to, okay, this is on page 700, it's not just page 1. And please be careful not to make the error with, if you do pull up an HTML, to just cite it as page 1, because the true page number of the article depends on what volume or issue of the journal sometimes, if it has continuous pagination, or it depends on the place it was in the journal. So if it's not the first article there, and most journals don't start on page 1 anyway, so don't make the fatal mistake of just citing page 1, because someone will come back and say this is not the right page number for this quotation if you're doing that. So this was my quick tour of EBSCOHost. It's not too advanced that you should just avoid it and go to Google Scholar, because there are some really great tools and places to access through EBSCOHost. Don't forget to watch my video on TDNet. It's a way for you to access journals that you may not have access through our two main ones. Take a look at it. Thank you very much for listening, and take care.